name, the DMS user ID, and the name here that goes into these fields, which is what it gets displayed in this portal. So it's a pretty one-page application where you put all information into one place, so that we do not recommend users putting anything into the mobile device. They can also add a job, extra additional jobs in the mobile device, but the downside is anytime when there is an app update or when they sync the profile, the changes will be lost and everything will be restored from this portal. So that's why we always recommend admins or managers go into this portal and make changes here rather than doing it on the mobile device. That is one of our highly suggested recommendation for this. Any questions on this portal here, Brian and the team?
I think once something's added into the portal, we actually sync it from the iPad device or phones. So just get a little ahead of Vamsi, but just let you know that's how that information change from here gets into the iPad later.
Yep.
Yeah, full disclosure, you guys, I'm for those that don't know, on the DTNA side, I'm somewhat new to my role. I guess I don't know how much longer I can claim that. But my understanding is that Sean was handling this, you guys, but I see Travis and Ryan. Is this something you guys were doing or Sean was doing?
Sean, I think Sean was doing it because I wasn't, used to be talking to Sean a while back, but not lately, but it's been a while.
Right.
So is Sean working for your location still, or is he moved out?
No, yeah. So he's moved on, but we've been talking with IT about who's going to own this long term. So I think this is actually good. You're showing it right now, because in the interim, if the service managers want to do what he just showed you, feel free. But we're optimistic this is going to be something that the IT team owns for us via the ticket system. So
okay,
more to come. Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, we most of the times we do recommend service managers because they know more about their locations, so they can maintain, because it's individual. All family locations are defined, and yeah, depending on how this is set up, I believe these are all shared across the family. But if they are shared only individual locations, then I may have to say by default it comes with a family package. If you do for one, it applies to all locations except service writer information. So this section, bottom section, is only for the specific location that are selected up on the top.
Okay, great.
Everything else is applicable for all family locations.
Okay,
good. Yeah, this is the only thing that is independent from family. Okay. Yeah, pretty much most of the time service managers will go here and then do stuff here, because people come and go. This is where they need to update the list by selecting the service writer from here and add the DMS ID and the name here, and then sync the profile on the device. Okay. If no further questions, I will jump onto the mobile app. I'm going to share, stop sharing this one. I will share my iPad. Okay, let me know when you guys can see my iPad screen.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so Express WriteUp app, this mobile app is hosted in the DTNA BTP store, not in Apple App Store or Android Play Store, Google Play Store. It's hosted in a DTNA mobile app store. We call it a B2B store or enterprise store, DTNA enterprise store, and there is a URL where users go in and download the mobile app, and some locations do control through their software management system as well. I believe, I don't know how your locations are being managed to distribute this mobile app, but I know of some locations do distribute this mobile app through their software management system. Okay, and X2 is the icon that's going to be displayed once you install from the maybe I will see if I can log into the mobile app. Okay, so this is the DTNA B2B store. This is how it's going to look like, and there are few apps listed here, and Express WriteUp 2 is one of the app that you can download from it. There is a click download now button. Will be displayed only on mobile devices. If you launch this site on a desktop or laptop, you will not see download now. You will see like a device not compatible. That is the message you see. So the button will only show on an iPad or Android tablets or phones. Okay, the next one is I'm going to log into Express WriteUp. Let's start from scratch since I have already logged in. Let's start with the login. It uses the same DTNA Connect credentials. No change to it. Okay. Once the authentication is successful from DTNA, it will let the user in, and this is where the landing page for a user to put. This is what we call as a Win utility screen, where they can either enter input, or if they are using E-Link, Blue-Link mini adapter, and once they connect the adapter to the truck, and they can press the E-Link button, or if they are trying to look for UTP appointments, they can also view the appointments created in Uptime Pro. The write-ups, they can also start from write-up form, where they create a preliminary information, and once the customer show up, the truck show up to their location, they can convert that preliminary write-up to an ROI as well. So I will just go into that feature a little bit later, but first I will go and process some win. So there are different ways to process the win, either by serial number or by putting the full serial number, full 17 character number, or there is a scan QR code as well. Some vehicles have a sticker, QR code sticker. They can scan that and it brings up the 17 character win, and it automatically loads the win. Or if there are old trucks coming in, and if there are frequent trucks that show up, then you can also print the QR code. Once you enter the 17 character, and there is a print QR code, and you can print it, and then you can stick it onto the truck so that it can be used for the future visits as well. I'm going to process this win. Please stop me if you guys have any questions. So right now I'm connected to my test proceed system and not to your location. So just FYI.
Any of the vehicles from about 2015 was when we started QR codes. So you should start seeing those more and more.
Yeah, right. Okay, and this is how the page, if there are any open campaigns, the pop-up is going to show there is an active campaigns available for this vehicle. This is the pop-up that comes. They either can click view, which takes them to the next screen, or they can cancel out and then work on the screen first and then move on to the next campaign screen. So for now, I'm going to click cancel here. And also, if the customer has and proceed, there is a feature, the priority notes as well for a given customer. If the customer has been set as a priority notes in the DMS, Express WriteUp is going to show that pop-up as well. Hey, this customer has a priority notes, and then it will present that notes too, so that user service writer knows something that needs to be taken care for that customer as soon as they visit that location. And this is where the top section will show the vehicle information from OWL system. We pull if it's a DTNA vehicle, we are going to show the information from OWL system. If it's a non-DTNA, then we are going to show whatever the information that comes from DMS. So there are two ways of showing the vehicle info between the DTNA and the non-DTNA events. You see the base top section is basically coming from OWL, and then warranty customer that is registered for that truck in OWL system. And whereas the down section, the bottom section is the DMS customer. if it's that is coming from the DMS, and it will show whatever the latest customer information for that vehicle. And if it is incorrect, user can either go by clicking the search button, they can click search as if that customer is not right, and if they think the customer is going to be somebody else, and they can click search, and this one has no customers found. Type in my name, so it brings back some matching customer records, and then user can pick from the list as well. There are three ways of doing a customer search, either by ID. If the service writer knows the customer ID, they can type in the ID or the name, or by phone number as well. So DMS will return the matching results to this table, and it will let the user service writer pick that customer record from the result set.
So can we pause here? Because this is a point right here that I get a lot of feedback on, and I have to admit, I'm probably not up to date on. So let's say this is two things could happen here. One, this is a new customer to us, meaning to Gordon Truck Centers, and so they're not pulling from our DMS, and or it's maybe even not a DTNA vehicle. So in that situation, my understanding is you can manually create the customer in here, or the recommendation is really to just use Proceed at that point. Do you have any insight into those?
Yeah.
Into that situation?
Yeah, it all depending on the location specific. Some service writer locations use a cache customer. That's what they call it. Let's say if the new customer to your system, and if they don't like the information, they don't like to provide their information, they just tell their name, but they don't want to give their details of the phone number and everything. That's when service writer makes a decision like, hey, maybe let me create with the cache customer, and then they go into the DMS and then change the name only, but not anything else kind of thing. But we do recommend creating, let's do search first. If the customer already exists, if not exist, then there is a new button where it will pre-populate with the warranty customer information. But if that is not the right customer info, they can always clear all and then type in whatever the latest information here is. And then there is a create button where it creates it actually creates in the DMS, not in the DTNA system. Basically, the record is being created in DMS, and then we get the customer ID back from the DMS.
And that, Brianna, that is controlled by the permissions in the admin screen. So because if you've got it in the admin screen, then the users won't be able to customer. So that's a decision your team makes on behalf of it. We can't just allow, for example, the cash customer to not be changed and other customers to be. It's either all or none. So you're either allowed to create a new or you're not.
Travis, do you know if we have that unlocked?
I'm going right to that admin screen right now to see if I can access or lock or unlock that. And I didn't know that before.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll look into that.
It's locked basically. For one of the location I'm seeing in the portal is locked. I don't know about other locations.
That could be why I'm hearing this as such a pain point. Is that okay? So that seems like something we could solve.
Yeah, so the edit button is the one which makes them visible. The setting on the portal allow user to update customer. If that is checked and the profile is synced, the edit button will disappear basically.
Okay.
You will no longer see edit button. So that's why some locations do not allow users to update the customers. It's a location specific decision. And also some users may not be allowed to, although location is allowed, setting is allowed to update, but you can also make it determination in DMS to block some users. Not all users are allowed to update, but some users, it may allow some users, but not all users.
When you say users, do you mean workspace or users? Like I could make, okay, all right.
Workspace permissions, basically.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's the DMS settings that Express WriteUp has no control to it. Even though if you say edit it, let's say if the Express WriteUp, the user can see edit button and they see update button, when they click update here, DMS may restrict it because I'm submitting my request, but I'm not authorized to update the record. So DMS comes back with an error message, you are not authorized or something. That's the message is going to be displayed. But if other person updates the record, then it may go through because that person is authorized to update that record.
Okay.
So yeah.
I unfortunately, you guys, I'm sorry, I have to pop off, but one thing I was hoping we could cover too is when that recall thing popped up, I wanted to clarify with the team that we can add the recalls at this point, and then if the customer declines them later, you can do it, later. But I wanted to kind of throw out there a potential best practice to just add them at this point onto the RO so that they're visible. Do you guys have any? Yeah, go ahead, Mom.
Oh, you mean automatically add those recalls, whatever they are available?
Right. Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out to our team.
Yeah, I think there was a topic came out. Marty, chime in. You may want to chime in. I think the request has come into. Hey, is it a good idea to add open campaigns or recalls automatically? But again, on the other side, you may look into the aspect of the truck. Let's say, for example, some location worked on the recall or campaign, and then the next day it showed up in a different location. If Express WriteUp does not know, because the other location may not have submitted a claims history, right? So that process has still been pending. But if Express WriteUp adds again, then the other location is going to, if you guys don't pay attention to what has been added, and you guys may be duplicating the work, and then there is a risk of losing.
Yeah, what Brianna's talking about is just as a Gordon Truck Center team automatically adding that campaign on each, and then potentially then a customer then could in writing deny it, and that gives them some protection in the future if something comes back later. So let's say they wanted to not do an airbag recall and customer documented that they don't want it and then have a problem, then it is all documented and recorded on the Gordon side or Freightliner Northwest side to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah, we can certainly look into that. But yeah, so I will need more information and direction from Marty, so that how we want to do it. And also the other part is adding a job for procedure depending on the DMS. The job code and the sales type is required to be added to your jobs. So that is another thing we need to. What is the default job code that we can set? So if there has been set, if you think that campaign that can be added by default, can use those default job code and sales type as well. So those are some decisions that have to be made. Okay.
I think we're losing some audio here.
You guys hear me well, or is there, hear some noise?
It may just be me, but it sounds like you're fading out, Vamsi.
How about others? Can you guys hear me well? Marty, you are on mute.
My volume stopped working, so it's just a phone for me.
I can hear you all right.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, Brian, any questions on this customer related info before I jump onto the other? Did we lose Brian? Looks like we lost her.
Oh, she had to take off, so.
Okay. We'll continue. So the next one is warranty coverage screen. This is where we pull the vehicle warranty coverage information for most of the components that you guys can see in our system as well. It should be same as what you see in OWL as well. But if you guys notice any discrepancies, please write an email to experts@daimlertruck.com. I will do some investigation there and see if you notice anything missing, or maybe accidentally striked off, but it shouldn't be striked off or not expired versus expired ones. I can take a look as well. So this is the warranty coverage, and then filters. There are different types of filters. By default, it's going to show all warranty coverages, but you can also filter out by depending on the chassis, axle, engine, or one-stop coverages as well. So once you select it, it's going to show what are the filter applied selections. and there is more information available as well. When you click on any warranty coverage, it's going to take to the next screen, and you will see more information about the warranty coverage as well. So this is most of the information, and you can see a lot of different payment rates and the deductibles, and also any other information that you see in our system. And if you think this is supposed to be worked on and there is a new job button, you can also click new job, and it's going to add to the jobs list where you need to pick. If there is a default job code selected, it's going to be pre-populated. Otherwise, you can pick what are the default job code and click save. It's going to be added to the jobs list, and then it will say added as a job. This coverage has been added as a job. That's what you see on the top left corner. Instead of plus sign, you see that button. You cannot, so Express WriteUp will prevent adding that warranty coverage work as a duplicate. Okay, any questions on the screen? And also you can, by default, this will be attached to a repair order. But if you would like to email or print from the device, you can also do so. But email app has to be configured on the device in order for email to work. So either print, you can also always print. The printers list will be shown based on the Wi-Fi network that the device is connected to and what are visible on that network. You mean that your location controls of the printer's visibility as well, your network admin.
When those attachments go to proceed, where do they go?
There is the archive documents folder. That's where this warranty coverage, the PDF named itself is a warranty coverage. And when the work order is created, when you pull up the repair order in DMS, and there is the archive documents location. That's where you can see all of the attachments that are uploaded from Express WriteUp.
Awesome.
By default, there will be two, repair order PDF and the warranty coverage PDF. But if you add any additional pictures or any claim histories and the recall campaigns data, those are all optional attachments. You are welcome to add those as additional attachments too for your documentation purpose as well. So for example, this is the recall campaign. There is one open recall campaign available, and you will see plus sign. In the OWL, when it comes from OWL thinks that this campaign has not been worked on for that vehicle. So it gave me the open status still, and vehicle has not been completed. I mean, this campaign has not been completed on that vehicle. That's why you see plus sign. You can always click on plus sign and add to the job as well. So that's one way to add. And then once you added, you will see added as a job. The text that you see on the right side, there will be no plus sign. And also if there are multiple recalls and campaigns, there will be filter. Right now there is only one recall. That's why it's all related to the engine. That's why you are seeing one engine. But if there are campaigns belongs to engine, transmission, axles, or anything, you will see different filter criteria. And you can also attach this campaign screen. This is where you see attach option. If you would like to manually attach that this campaign data, you can do by clicking. So the next time when you click plus that share icon again, you will see detach because you have already attached to an RO. That's why you see detach. If you want to remove that, you can click here detach option. That will be removed from the repair order. Any questions on the campaign screen?
Looks good. So the system's fairly smart. If it knows something's already attached, it'll give you the only option you have left, which is detach.
Yep. Okay, and the claim history is the next one. We look at most of the service writers. Okay, what are the work that has been performed? This comes from OWL as well. I believe this does not show pendings probably. That's where we recommend service writer to pay attention to before any campaign work being done, review any claims that are being made for that campaign. And if they're in pending status, like now, they may have just submitted but not processed that claim. So we always recommend service writer to look for that information before any work being done. But this, at least the screen gives the snapshot of what work has been done and completed. names process. And you can see the filter again, chassis and everything, and also you can also print attach this information as well if you like. So by default, you see the email print attach, and you will need to manually attach if you would like this to be archived in DMS. Any questions here? Okay.
And just another point, in Uptime Pro, you guys will actually see all repairs. So in Express WriteUp, we're only going to see the repairs in OWL, but in the unit history in Uptime Pro, you'll have the ability to see all work, all repairs.
Okay, Smarty, and virtual technician is not available at this time, but there is a link to virtual technician web portal. When you click, there is a button. When you click on it, and it takes you to the virtual technician portal. For the first time, you need to log in, but otherwise, once you're logged in, from the next time onwards, it will take you to the portal directly and with the win information populated. Let me log in for the first time.
Toward the end of the year, you'll see some changes in our logon credentials that will help not require this additional login step. But like Vamsi says, once you've actually connected to that Detroit Connect portal, anytime you click on VT afterwards, it will take you straight there and carry the VIN with it.
Well, it didn't go through my first attempt. So, but anyway, either way, but this is for the first time it will prompt you to log in, but otherwise from second time onwards you can straight carries the VIN, and then it's by default it's going to show the information for that VIN as well. So the next tab is the vehicle components. Where you can see the major component information for the truck, where engine, transmission, and axles, and anything that color with any rows that are with the color coded, it indicates the more information available. When you press on that row, it will take you to the next screen where you can see more information about that component here. This is also can be attached. Every screen will have email print attachment. You can always make a decision of whether to email print or attach to, or if necessary. And then the next one is driver interviews. This is where there are pre-filled, pre-configured some driver interview forms for different components. For example, I go to the transmission and you see different questionnaire. It's a free form field where you can ask question, service director ask questions to the customer, and they're based on the information, they just type in what weather conditions, the problem has started, a yes, no thing kind of thing. You can always change, and there are different options available. And once this is filled, it automatically attached to an RO once it is filled. So, and the filled driver interviews are color coded in this main screen, which indicates that you have entered some information here, but rest are not touched. That's why you are not seeing any color coding. But since I just filled in transmission, you see the color coding. But when I go into this again, transmission, you see whatever the information that you have filled earlier. And also if you see the option detach, because Express WriteUp has already attached to an RO, but you will still have an option to detach the driver interface. If you think it's no longer needed to attach to an RO, you can always detach. Okay, E-Link is another aspect where once the truck is processed with the BlueLink Mini, you will see in the screen, you will see the E-Link snapshot of the data, all the subset of fault codes that received from the BlueLink Mini, you will see on in the screen as well. So there's some details you will see. not all fault codes are visible here, but I think Blue Mini supports some protocols and it provides only subset of data codes, I mean fault codes. But if you would like to see the complete list of fault codes, that's where you will connect diagnostic link to the truck and you pull in various different of fault codes. Okay, any questions here? Before I jump onto the next screen. Okay. And this is the jobs list screen where you add jobs or maybe from different screens also. If you add a job from warranty or campaign, they all show up in this screen. This is where you click add job and tries to, while adding a job, you can also take a picture. If you want to take a picture using the in-app camera, click on the add photo from camera. But if you already have taken a pictures, but if they're in the library, you can also add photo from the library as well. So for the first time using the app, it will ask for permissions, but otherwise from next time onwards, it will not. Anytime when you reinstall, delete and reinstall the app, you are required to install the application, the permissions basically for the folders. So on iOS devices, you can attach multiple photos at once. Like I can select up to 10 photos here. You can always, by default, it will add everything to it. You can say click add and it adds all the photos into these sections, and you can put some notes, then you can save it. It's going to be, all photos will be added to one single PDF document as an attachment. It's called Photos PDF, and also it will be archived in DMS as well. And photos taken using the in-app camera also saved on the device as well. So at some point in the future, you may want to clean up the pictures to free up some space on the device. So any jobs that have photos will show up with the photo icon. And here is where you can either delete the job that you have added. Deleting means you are deleting only in WriteUp. There is no connection to the DMS yet until you upload to the DMS. And the vehicle inspection tab is, this is where the cumulative of all the pictures basically. It's not associated to a job, but if you are randomly taking pictures of the vehicle, this is where you add some random pictures of the truck to make sure when it's checked in, there are some damages you notice, you may want to capture it before, otherwise the customer say, hey, you guys did something. So to protect ourselves, we recommend taking pictures of the vehicle before it goes onto the way, or maybe when they check in. And the next one is repair order. This is where you enter some details, and anytime when you go to the repair order screen, for the first time it checks for open ROs, if there any open ROs exist for that VIN. If they do, then it is going to show like this pop-up, and service writer can view it to see, instead of creating an new RO, you may want to update an existing RO with additional jobs. So it will let you select one. Earlier I submitted one repair order here for this truck, that's what it is showing. There is one RO exists already. Either you can select one, or if you want to create a brand new one, you can go back, then just fill in all the information again, and then submit your repair order. So this is where this signature required by default, it will be turned on, which is a setting in the admin portal as well. If it's turned on by default, it will be turned on here as well for every RO, but you have an option to turn off if no signature is required. But we do recommend taking signatures for uploading the repair order to the DMS. And there are some settings of if for proceed, you are allowed to create an estimate and RO together, and you have an option to create estimate and include RO. If these two are turned off, by default it creates the repair order. But if you would like the estimate created, then you need to turn on the toggle switch for estimate. But if you would like both to be turned created at the same time, and then you need to turn on 2 toggle switches, estimate and include RO. This is also one of the setting that is available. If you would like, by default, estimate and RO created for every pin that show up. There is a settings. You can go into the settings, dealership profiles. There is a repair order submission. This is where you select enable RO with the estimates by default, which enables those 2 toggle switches in the repair order screen by default. This is the setting you need to turn on if your location wants estimate and RO created at the same time. Okay, I'm going to go back to the repair order screen and I will put some notes here. The RO notes I'm putting in, and I hit, this is where you see different options here in the share menu. Either you can email, print and upload, and also review attachments is another one. You can see what are the attachments that are being added to the DMS when you say upload. So these are the different required repair order coverages, photos, since you taken a picture, and the campaigns and recalls I manually attached, and also the driver interview. That is another one I attached manually. So these are the list of attachments that are going into the DMS. So when I hit upload, first it's going to create, and then that's when it prompts for the signature. When you hit upload, and the customer signs it, the signature will not go into the DMS, but signature will be captured in the repair order PDF report that is created by Express WriteUp. So here, when as soon as the RO created, I also because of this vehicle equipped with comments engine, and it created a guidance request also, since I have that setting turned on. If that setting is by default not on, then you are prompted to select it, make a choice whether you want to submit a case to guidance or not. So that's where you get another prompt. But in the admin portal, I have set as a submit to guidance by default. That's why it didn't ask me to whether you want to create a case in guidance. But once this is RO is created, so right now you see the repair order number and estimate order number and guidance number created. For proceed, this is another feature we have added recently, assign technician to a labor item. Right after the RO is submitted, service writer will have an option to assign a technician to some labor items. If they do not know who to assign, they can just simply close it. And let's say, for example, they can close it, and later they think that, oh, maybe I should be assigning a technician to labor item, they can always go back to this share menu, and you see the assign technician option as well. When they click on it, it's going to go to the proceed and pulls up all the labor items for each operation. DMS tells me, hey, for operation ID 2, this is a labor item A07121. So I'm going to pick a technician. I'm going to select assign a technician to this labor item. When I click assign, this is the technicians list that we pull from Proceed. These are the available technicians in a Proceed test system. Since I connected to test system, these are the technicians available, and they pick a name and then click assign button. So it's going to write the technician name in the DMS. And then once it is successful, then you see a success message saying technician has been assigned for the selected labor items. So when you refresh, it always brings back the latest technician. Let's say, for example, once you create it and the DMS, you assign to some different technician. And if you refresh here, you see the new technician that was assigned to that labor item as well. And this is about the repair order creation. Any questions here?
We got a couple of questions in the chat. One of them, it started with Sam. He was asking if OWL does not show the information for a TRP. So I was trying to find out from the team at Northwest what TRP is. seem to head
temporary
down.
repair, I can't remember what P stands for, but it's like process or something along those lines. It's like temporary repair process for like when there's warranty jobs, and they don't have like a part or something available, something along those lines. When I go to click on it in the recalls, it just tells me this PDF doesn't exist. And to answer Cummins Rapid Serve login, I do technically have one, but Cummins, it's not working properly. I submitted an IT ticket with Cummins a month ago, and I still haven't heard anything. So, yes and no.
Okay, so it's Cummins setting, I mean, or a Cummins warranty or care statement?
Yeah, so I can log in and then I'll click on like the policy number for what the coverage is or what that contract covers, and it'll tell me forbidden, and it'll kick me out to the very beginning for Cummins. So it won't let me actually look at anything.
Oh, that's in all system. You're trying to access the campaign info.
So that's in Cummins.
Oh, in Cummins itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we
I've
need
had
to
an IT ticket in for like a month and they haven't done anything with it, so.
Okay. Can you just shoot me a note and let this, Marty, can you just shoot me a note and maybe explain that to me and get some help from the Cummins side on that?
Yeah, that'd be great, because I only have one person guy who can access it at my location, and then a couple of my techs are having the exact same problem I have, and they've had the problem for over a year, and we're getting absolutely nowhere in trying to get this resolved.
Okay. Yeah, if we can see what we can do to help you with that.
That would be fantastic, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Vamsi. Sorry to interrupt you.
And are there any questions? I'm looking through the chat window. So one of the questions is Expo will show a blank screen. I'm not sure what that means from Drew. Drew, can you explain a little bit of what you're referring to?
What was that?
So right under the TRP, there is a question from Drew saying Expo will show a blank screen. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah.
That was in response to my question about the.
Oh, okay. Oh, for that campaign. Okay. For the Cummins info. Okay.
I appreciate the help, Drew.
Thank you, Drew.
Okay. Okay. The next, another important useful feature in Expo WriteUp is Uptime Pro appointments. For that, I need to simulate one of the location. I'm not sure if you guys. So, do you guys create any appointments in Uptime Pro for your locations? Does any of you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do any of you create appointments in Uptime Pro?
No.
Okay, so maybe I will simulate one dealer that I think I know they are using it.
And while I know that you might have to be leaving here pretty soon, Vamsi, but one of the things that we've got going here, guys, is we do have customers that are starting to use something called an API. This is basically intended for your service information from Uptime Pro, which already feeds Service Tracker. Instead of going directly into Service Tracker, for some customers, we'll actually send it right to their business system. So we're seeing discussions with JB Hunt, Warner, for example. When you put a note in Uptime Pro, it'll feed there. One of the features that we're building for customers is to request service, and that requesting service will give you some workflow to allow you to accept an appointment and create that appointment in Uptime Pro. So when that appointment's in Uptime Pro, what Vamsi's going to show you here is that we've built an interface from Express WriteUp to your Uptime Pro system to be able to create the RO directly from the appointment. Vamsi, if you're talking, you might be muted.
Oops. I have already completed what I was supposed to talk about. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I picked. Yeah, so this is where one of the dealer location using Uptime Pro, appointments in Uptime Pro. So when they create an appointment in WriteUp, also it can be visible. When they pull up their branch by default, it's going to show users branch details, and they can view the details of the appointment. And also there is an option to create RO right off it. So it's going to transfer all this information that has been entered into the appointment detail is going to be transferred into the respective screens like RO details and customer and everything. So it's a basically click of a button. It does everything for you guys. Once the appointment has been created with the proper format, it will be easy to convert to an RO. So this is another useful feature for your team as well. Okay, this is the dealer appointment. That's why I don't want to touch anything. Okay, I think those are the main features of WriteUp, and then WriteUps is another one where if you want to preliminarily start with WriteUp, and then you can also convert to an RO as well. So this is similar to appointment details, but you can fill in the preliminary information, and then you have options to convert with the e-link as well. And also the interview forms are available in the WriteUps as well. If you want to interview, fill in some data on behalf of a customer on the phone. And then once the customer show up, you can always convert this WriteUp to an RO as well.
The other thing this will set up was if you had a whole bunch of people lined up all at once, you can get the main information and the signature that you need, and then be able to create the RO later.
Yeah. Yeah, so today in Uptime Pro, there is a one notes field. Yes, I think somebody said, yeah, Tim, yes. So Uptime Pro will be enhanced, where you can say today what happens is there is only one notes field where you type in all the notes, but it will be created as one job for all the notes that you enter in Uptime Pro. But we are enhancing, there is an enhancement in the line where in the appointment itself, you have a multiple notes added into that appointment, and for each note there will be a job created going forward, but not at this time, but that will be in the works. So you will have an option to enter multiple jobs in for complaints into that appointment, and then later it comes down to WriteUp. It creates multiple jobs rather than one single job for all the stuff that you put into one notes. Hope that helps. Okay, that's it, Marty, from me.
How's the team doing on time? We're at the end of their scheduled time.
Yep. Unless anyone have any questions, please shoot an email to expresswriteup@daimler.com. I'm happy to answer if anyone of you have any questions and our assistance needed. Express WriteUp.
You have some links in there also that Vamsi's shown in that view.
Yeah.
It'll open up Pro.
Yep.
Other functions, it'll make it easy for you to get to certain things that you might need as well. Okay, so we want to respect your time. We appreciate you guys. Were we able to get all the questions hit? I know that Tim had a note about the appointment. The printer section, Drew, might be something that you can have your IT guys look at, but typically the printer should be able to be adapted to whatever iPad is out there. Usually the only people that have challenges printing are dealers that utilize CDK. They use some special printing details.
But yes, otherwise your IT should be enabling whatever the printers you guys want to be visible in iPad. Please work with your network administrator to make that printer visible in the Wi-Fi network environment that device is connected. Sometimes they might enable in the desktop network environment, but may not be in the Wi-Fi network. So you may want to ask your IT team to enable it.
Yep. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, thanks everybody.
James, if there aren't any questions, we'll let you get back to your jobs. And if there are any other additional questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we'll be more than happy to address those with you. Vamsi, great job. So much.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Vamsi. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah.